When you look into their eyes, you know somebody is home.
They're an animal that possesses great spiritual power, not to be meddled with.
County Sheriff's Office.
We need SO to respond for a dead person at SeaWorld. A whale has eaten one of the trainers.
Tilikum is the one that went after her.
Dawn is the senior trainer here at Shamu Stadium.
She captured what it means to be a SeaWorld trainer, that it made me realize what happened to her really could have happened to anyone.
Killed by Tilikum.
We weren't told much about it, other than it was trainer error.
It didn't just happen. It's not a singular event. You have to go back to understand this.
The speedboat herded them in, and they could just pick out the young ones.
This is the worst thing that I've ever done.
We stored these whales in what we call a module, which was 20 feet across and 30 feet deep, and the lights were all turned out.
Probably led to what I think is a psychosis.
All whales in captivity are all psychologically traumatized. It's not just Tilikum.
If you were in a bathtub for 25 years, don't you think you'd get a little psychotic?
The industry has a vested interest in spinning these. That sells a lot of Shamu dolls. It sells a lot of tickets at the gate.
There's no record of an orca doing any harm in the wild.
Tears are filling up their glasses. No expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my...
You know, back then, I really didn't feel like my safety was threatened at all. But of course, I didn't know the scope of the aggressive acts that had been committed by killer whales against trainers. You know, and those are all available on the internet now. You can read about them. They're public knowledge. And also, when I was at SeaWorld, there was a dangerous combination of what I would call arrogance and false confidence in the animal training department. So there was this sense of that if you did everything right, then nothing would happen to you. And in fact, and then when things did go wrong, there was this attitude of blame the trainer. So basically, you know, knowing what I know now, there's no way I would get into the water with a killer whale right now.
Hello, my name is Shay Prince. Today's news is about the documentary known as Blackfish. Blackfish was produced in 2010 in Orlando, Florida. The documentary focuses on the captivity of Tilikum, a killer whale involved in the deaths of 3 individuals, 2 that were known trainers, and the consequences of keeping killer whales in captivity. The documentary of Tilikum includes his capture in 1983 off of the coast of Iceland, harassment by fellow captive whales at Sealand, incidents that argue the whale's aggression, and includes the ways trainers were portrayed to be. Blackfish also focuses on what SeaWorld claims the lifespan of whales in captivity are compared to those in the wild, typically 30 years for males and 50 years for females. The claim the film argues is false. Interviews were shown throughout the documentary, which included former SeaWorld trainers as well. Many trainers admitted while they were at SeaWorld, they believed they knew anything about whales, when typically they know nothing. Many things SeaWorld doesn't want their people to know, and for tourists to know, is that the killer whales get sunburns, but they cover it up with black paste. With the no space given to swim, the whales don't have anywhere to hide, so they're forced in the sun. Secondly, if not captured, they're killed. During Shamu's capture, her mother was shot with a harpoon and killed before the young orca's eyes by a Marine called Cowboy. Thirdly, trainers masturbate the whales to collect their sperm. Even though in the wild, orcas choose their own mates, SeaWorld forces to breed on a regular basis. The male orcas are trained to float on their backs, and the trainers flip them over and collect their sperm. Females are forced to breed at a much older age, even younger at the age of 2, so it would be more nature. Katana was used as a virtual breeding machine and was even inbred with her own sons. The fourth thing is orcas in captivity have a shorter lifespan. Orcas in the wild live to an average of 30 to 50 years old, and their estimated maximum lifespan is 60 to 70 for males, and 80 and even to 100 for females. While in captivity, they only live up to 20. And the fifth thing is that animals suffer from cramped, unnatural living conditions. With this happening, their dorsal fins are flipping over, and they're considered to be living in the size of a bathtub.
Have you ever seen the movie Blackfish?
I haven't.
I've seen about SeaWorld.
SeaWorld, yeah, I've been there at least maybe 2 times.
Have you ever seen any of the whale shows?
I have.
What do you think about it?
I think it was cool, but I think they're like trapped.
Okay, so how much money do you think SeaWorld gets annually in a year? So like 500,000.
I'm gonna say 640 million.
A lot. So they get 2.44 billion and only 1% goes towards their animals. What do you guys think about that?
They have what percent?
Stupid. 1%. That's crap. Have you ever heard of SeaWorld?
Yeah.
What do you think about SeaWorld?
It's good, you know, I want to visit there, you know, see all the animals, fishes, dolphins, sharks, killer whales, you know what I'm saying?
How many yards per day in the wild? 100 miles. Yeah.
100 miles.
And in SeaWorld, they only have 30 feet deep in their pool. What do you think about that?
They're surviving.
People consider it as being in a bathtub. What do you have anything to say to SeaWorld for that?
Extend their little pool or something. Do something.
Dory, this is not whale. You're speaking like upset stomach.
Maybe I should try humpback.
No, don't try humpback. You're... Whoa! All right.
Whoa!
You actually sound...
Let me do a little humpback.
Wait, I got it.
Wait. Okay, wait.
Last thing, can you give me your best whale call?
Yeah. Whoa.
Okay, Brandon, can you give me your best whale call?
Best whale call. Shit.
Do you know anything about blackfish?
I heard it is a whale.
A whale?
A whale.
Okay.
Is it Free Willy?
You developed the answer. Yeah, you did! Yeah, you did! Choose the answer, 5,280? That's 6,500. Brandon, can you give me your best Alright, one last thing. Can you give me your best whale call?
I should take it from their line.
It's like... If you had one thing you can say to SeaWorld, what would it be?
Can I think about this first?
Get off camera.
What should I say? What should I say?
Be like,
The whale.
don't let humanity.
Oh, I should say, oh
don't
well.
let humanity. Oh well.